Good afternoon, everybody. Good morning. 大家早安. My name is Heng Sure. Today is Monday, October 23rd here in the Gold Coast of Queensland. It's Sunday night, October 22nd, first day. See, Scorpio begins tomorrow in North America. And we are about to investigate the Flower Garland Sutra. Glad that you could be with us. 我们准备在研究大方广佛华严经十回向品，欢迎大家来参加。今天在亚洲这里是星期一中午10月23号，加州是22，就是星期天晚上在万佛圣者。All right, let's begin our lecture. I will ring the bell 3 times, and then Kelly is going to request Dharma. Okay, so 现在朝烟庆三下，大家跟着来新三文巡礼。一文巡，二文巡，三文巡。Kelly, if you would like to request Dharma, please go ahead.
恭请大德圣听，为此法会及一切众生，请转妙法轮，教导我们如何了生脱死，离苦得乐，速证无生。Will the Sangha with great virtue, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dhamma wheel to teach us how to leave suffering and attain bliss and end birth and dies, and quickly realize non-birth.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Homage to the blessed, noble, and perfectly enlightened one.
Namo sadanto suchedoye oladi samyao samputoshe.
Namo sadanto suchedoye alahadi samyao samputoshe.
无上甚深微妙法，百千万劫难遭遇。我今见闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。Supreme and wondrous Dharma, subtle and profound, rarely is encountered even in billions of eons, but now we see and hear it and accept it reverently. May we truly understand the Buddha's actual meaning. All right. Thank you, Kelly. Appreciate the Dharma request. Let us begin. Let us continue with our invocation of spiritual presence. 那我们继续迎请华严海会佛菩萨、天龙八部护法神圣莅临道场。南无大方广佛华严经，华严海会佛菩萨，南无大方广佛华严经，华严海会佛菩萨，南无大方广华严海会佛菩萨，南无大方广华严经，华严海会 婆华严经，华严海会佛菩萨，南无大方婆华严经，华严海会佛菩萨。One more time. Furthermore, we would like to acknowledge the country and say that the Pomo people practice spiritual connections to the earth and to all creation here on their ancestral land for tens of thousands of years. And today we acknowledge them as traditional custodians, the original storytellers of these lands. We offer our respect to their elders, past, present, and emerging, to all First Nations people whose sovereignty was never ceded. 就是说 Pomo 人在他们祖先土地上修炼着他们与土地万物的精神联系已有数万年。今天我们承认他们是这些土地的传统监护人和原始讲故事的人，并且向他们过去、现在和新兴的长老们表示敬意，以及主权从未被割让的所有的第一民族人民们表示敬意，没有错。好的，那就是万佛上城那里的那个原住民哈。然后呢 ，The bells sound wide resounds throughout 100 million worlds. The Buddha's law is heard and spread all throughout the triple world. The wondrous sounds that everywhere fill the Dharma realm with peace. May those who hear it gain the strength to follow in faith the Buddha's path. 众生传3000界内，佛法扬万亿国中，共寻其法界和平，利益报他那厚德。Indeed. There we go. Well, let's see who's here. 我们看看今天都谁来参加呢？We have our co-host is in Taiwan, Taipei, while I am in Australia. Let's see, our Dharma request came from Beijing. We have friends here from Los Angeles and from, let's see here. I'm going to check here. Okay. Okay, that would be from Okanagan, Washington. Yep. Okay, Vivian is here. And then Stockton and City of 10,000 Buddhas in San Jose and Ukiah, Shanghai and Malaysia and Newbury Park and Sunnyvale and Saratoga and Calgary and Canada, Montreal. Shenzhen, Malaysia, Texas. Where else? Shenzhen, Dublin, Ohio. Gwen is here. Okay, Heilongjiang and Alameda. And where else? Let's see here. Guangdong and San Jose and Taipei and Berkeley. Man, we are all over the planet. San Jose, Seattle. Where else? Let's see here. From Nanhai, Hainan, Hainandao. Okay. From New Zealand, welcome, Mr. Yip. Heilongjiang, San Francisco, Seattle, San Rafael, Vancouver, San Jose, Bay Area, San Jose. Let's see, Oslo, Petter's here. San Jose. San Jose is really creeping up in the numbers here. My goodness. Sarah and Michael from Ukiah, Malaysia, Fresno, Seattle, San Leandro, Vietnam, Virginia, Ukiah, Malaysia. Okay, and now we switch over. We discover where folks are from in China and Taiwan. Let's see here. From Zhejiang and Shanghai, and Hangzhou and Hangzhou and Hangzhou. 奉驾三位哈，欢迎。好，黑龙江啊。Let's see here. Where? 辽宁 OK. Good. 大连湖南 Yep. 有辽宁黑龙江哦，一定是东北人最多。哎，恭喜你们。因为商人的缘分啊。OK. 浙江苏州淮南市哈。Let's see. 上海吉林张家口唐山河北Let's see here. 黑龙江呼和浩特内蒙古这是哈尔滨也是东北。南京西雅图那是中国哪里南加 OK. Could that be 南加州 maybe? 上海let's see here. 黑龙江马来西亚洛杉矶中国广东山东上海台北市欢迎苏州镇江 OK. Gee whiz, we're over 100 now, and folks truly come from everywhere around the planet to listen to the Dharma. So happy to be part of the community that brings everyone together. 大家能团结来研究佛法，令我很欢喜能参加。我愿意尽心做这个 community 这一团人的一部分。就包括身体好长大的白色的鸟，就坐在那里看着我。我已经为你呢 OK. 你也可以听佛法。好，欢迎。好的，那个 in the Pure Land, there I have some very large pure white cockatoos with sulfur crests on their head, looking in the window at me, watching, listening. And I am reminded that in the Pure Land, there are birds, parrots in particular. Well, here we have parrots as well. Maybe you can be reborn directly in the Pure Land, in your body. Go sing for Amitabha and all the bodhisattvas. Hope so. Okay, welcome everybody. We have a question that came by letter from Vivian, a couple questions. These questions have to do with translation. It's only of interest to English speakers, not to Chinese speakers. But the question is, should this be called dedication of merit or should it be called transference of merit? And to my mind, both work. Before it became dedication, it was transference among the BTTS translators for years and years. Then a new version was picked up by, particularly by the nuns at JGH, and their edition came out with dedication. And that was an innovation, that was a new one. So to say one is right and one is wrong, I think is not the way to approach it. I think a dedication means I give this to someone. I dedicate it. So I use someone else's name as the recipient of. So like on AM radio, I want to dedicate this song to Susie, and I hope you'll be there at the dance on Sunday night, right? This is dedicated to the one I love. That's the song of the mamas and the papas, you'll recall. So that's a dedication. I give it to. Transference, transfer, carrying across. Transference is less specific. You simply send it out. And certainly we do it with a wish, but the word itself, to transfer, carrying it over from here to there. So there's more sense of movement somehow in the word transference. I prefer transference, but I use them both. So if you have found dedication in the latest translation, that's a group of translators' preference. But to say it's right or wrong, that's not so helpful. So either one, whichever you prefer, is good. The other question was, in her, she asked about transferring merit from one person to one person or to all living beings. And again, my understanding of it is you can transfer merit to whoever you choose. And Shifu did both. He specifically transferred merit to individuals who were sick, in my knowledge, to situations that required immediate attention to prevent warfare breaking out. Shifu would transfer merit to the potential warriors, calming them down, preventing war from breaking out. That I know about. Likewise, you can, and bodhisattvas do in our chapter here that we're going to investigate. Bodhisattvas specifically transfer merit to Bodhi for all beings, to Nirvana, transfer to living beings that they evolve, transfer to Bodhi that they wake up, and transfer to what's called the reality limit, ultimate reality. So all those different places are appropriate, and you can transfer to every single living being. Certainly that is some of the transference we do. But on a daily basis, you can dedicate your merit and virtue to whoever you choose, to a single individual, to your grandmother, that people, get past their suffering, that they lose their fear of being alone as they age, that people lose their anxiety just in general. So there's lots and lots of places and ways to dedicate merit. So yes, certainly Shifu did teach us to dedicate merit to all beings, but at the same time, he modeled dedicating to individuals, to circumstances, to specific cases, and you are free to dedicate any way you choose. Certainly, somebody cultivating the Bodhisattva path towards Buddhahood would dedicate to all beings. So often it's said, I dedicate to all beings with the wish that, if you look at Samantabhadra's vow number 10, for example, there are specific places that the Bodhisattva is dedicating merit to all beings with the wish that. So kind of combining that. Okay, let me translate that, and I'll explain to the Chinese listeners who are patiently trying to wonder what's going on. 就说最近有一个佛友，他写信来，就说问两个问题对于回向这个事。一个呢是讲这个英文怎么样翻译回向，回向是不是 dedication， 是不是 transference， 两个都可以，看你愿意怎么样翻译，意思就一样了。这个第二呢有意思，他说最近他听我说我们可不可以回向功德给这个现在在战争情形之下受苦的众生，回向给他们。他说这是不是不如法？他说本来他记得上人教我们回向给所有一切众生，对不对？那我说对的，没有错。可是回向呢是看你愿意怎么样回向。华严经给我们几千个善回向的愿，很善良的愿力，每一个愿一切众生是一个回向的愿。有的时候你可以专门给特别回向给某某人，或者某某情形，或者呢就说也可以回向给一切众生。多数呢菩萨就说回向一切众生，希望我愿意众生如何这样子。所以呢又有总，也有个别，有特别，还有一个总括的很大的。所以你回向众生，回向菩提，回向实际，这是我们十回向品里边的一个愿。同时呢菩萨都会 如果需要的话，特别回向给某某人、某某情形。好比说，你知道一个人快要往生，你回向给他，希望就尽快往生西方极乐世界。那然后呢，你知道某某地方有困难，有什么灾难、人山那个，就说天灾人祸啊，你可以回向，希望解决那个问题了，都可以。所以看情形。菩萨都他愿意回向功德，希望众生得到利益。Okay, all right. So good questions. Keep them coming. I think it's very helpful to investigate questions that people share. 所以大家愿意问问题，非常欢迎。Okay, now we have just begun. Remember, we started. Look. Oops, there it is. Avatamsaka Sutra, 10 Dedications, Part 7, the 7th Transference, the 7th dedication. And here we are. By the way, people say, well, if you think transference is good, why does your text say dedication? Because I did not translate this chapter. I'm using the text translated by another part of our committee, and I welcome their work. I think it's excellent, and I choose to read transference as often as I read dedication. 有的人就说，嘿，你说你喜欢用 transference， 那为什么你的这个文字啊，就说 dedication， 这不是我个人翻译的，我愿意用他们翻译的非常好的这个文稿那么我也用 transference， 我也用 dedication， 都可以。OK， 好 ，So 我们刚刚开始第七随顺，就说等随顺一切众生回向。The 7th transference that accords equally with all living beings. We just started, and we found out about bodhisattvas dedicate all of the good roots they accrue, including, now we have a list of 25 kinds of good roots. 就说我们刚刚开始第7回向，就说佛子慈菩萨摩诃萨随所集其一切善根，然后呢有25种不同的善根，就说所谓我就告诉你。我所讲的什么样的善根 Okay, here we are. Oh, Turkey hit the door. All right. Let's read the whole thing. Let's go all the way down to the end in Chinese, all the way down in English. 我们从这个佛境界善根一直念下去，好吧？来 ，make it bigger. 你们可以跟我念哈。佛境界善根，法境界善根，僧境界善根，善知识境界善根，一切众生境界善根，方便善巧境界善根，修筑善心境界善根，内境界善根，外境界善根，外边诸道法境界善根。勤修一切舍善根，立圣智究竟特境界善根，一切舍无不受看人善根，常精进心无退善根，以大方便入无量三昧善根，以智慧善观察善根，知一切众生心性差别善根，具无边功德善根，勤修one more time， 勤修习菩萨业行善根，普福于一切世间善根。Well done, everyone. Okay, what was that all about? Good roots that arise in dependence on the Buddhas, good roots that arise in dependence on the Dharma, good roots that arise in dependence on the Sangha, good roots that arise in dependence on spiritual teachers, good roots that arise in dependence on all living beings, good roots that arise in dependence on skillful and expedient means, good roots that arise in dependence on cultivating all kinds of wholesome thoughts, good roots that arise in dependence on what is internal, good roots that arise in dependence on what is external, good roots that arise in dependence on countless aids to awakening, good roots of diligently cultivating all forms of renunciation, good roots of making the supreme resolve to perfectly uphold pure precepts, good roots of patiently and willfully enduring all forms of renunciation, good roots of constant vigor that never diminishes, good roots of encountering countless samadhis through great skillful means, good roots skillfully contemplating by means of wisdom, good roots from knowing the different thoughts of all living beings, good roots from accumulating boundless merit, good roots of diligently cultivating bodhisattva's practices, and good roots of sheltering and cherishing everyone in the world. Okay, a couple comments. That arise in dependence on, in Chinese, is what it's here is 境界. This word repeats, 境界, 境界, 境界. And a 境界 has been translated in our group as a state. And a state, it was an unsatisfying translation. Because a state is a state of mind, state of being. Is it one of the 50 states of the United States? Is it, which state are we talking about? So it's got that problem. It has different resonance in different situations. So how do we approach state? From how do we approach wrong? How do we approach 境界? What do we get of that? Shh, stop squeaking out there, please. Somebody's trying to get my attention here. So you could hear, notice how it goes, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, good and wise advisor, all living beings. Buddhas, Dharma, Sangha, spiritual teachers, all living beings. So every time the word in Chinese is 境界, states. So Buddha state, good roots. Dharma state, good roots. Sangha state, good roots. Not very satisfying, is it? What does that mean? So related to, or good roots that relate to, independence on has a different resonance to my mind. It means you depend on, you rely upon, you require, you need. That's what dependence means. You depend on a crutch. If you don't have the crutch, you fall over when you try to walk. That's dependence. I don't think that's going to work here either. I prefer something related to or in situations that regard. So good roots in regard to the Buddha, good roots that relate to the Dharma, good roots that concern the Sangha, or situations involving, there you go, good roots from situations involving the Buddha, good roots from situations involving Dharma, Sangha, spiritual teachers, sort of like that. So that's independence on, yeah, kind of, but that's not the way I don't think that's the best choice, but it's not wrong. It's just a different resonance here. And then on down, when it goes to of, definitely you want from, not of. Good roots from, patiently and willingly enduring, right? Good roots from, not of. Good roots of, patiently, no. I think that's not right. So just some notes, what I would do if it were my translation. Okay, 就是说英文的关系，可能要听中文的人不太关心 independence on the Buddhas。我觉得那个翻译不是最恰当。还有这边 of 应该是 from 就对的。Okay, look at these 25, starting with minor, all good roots. Minor, great, vast, many, countless, all kinds of, numerous, limitless, inconceivable, immeasurably many, all those good roots. Then at this point, these good roots start to get specific. Put that away briefly. Look at this. briefly. Not that one. Thank you. Goodbye. We want this one. We want that one. Not that one. Save that. Goodbye. We want this one. Yes. Here's the word good roots. 善根. Let's take a look here. Clearly, this is important because we just had 25 of them, right? What are good roots? I've heard one theory that says good roots make sense from a farming civilization that planted rice in rice paddies, one root at a time. If you ever seen anybody plant rice, you're in the water up to your knees and you pull out a little sprout with roots and you put it down in the mud under the water. And it's a root, a root, a root, a root. 善根 makes sense there. We in North America, Canada, in Europe, plant wheat and corn, particularly corn in America, that come from seeds, not roots. So good roots doesn't make as much sense as if we were to say good seeds, but we don't say that either. I would like to move away from good roots, which I think is Chinglish and too literal. I think goodness works. I don't think we need the roots anymore. What's it talking about? Goodness in your human heart, in your nature, in your body and mind that result from goodness that you do. We could also use like wholesome qualities, good qualities, roots of goodness, aspects of goodness, internal virtues. The Digital Dictionary of Buddhism online says good roots, virtuous roots, morally positive habits that bring about good retribution. Good actions, so good karma. With the roots of a tree used as metaphor for goodness, yeah, but more like roots of rice, because that's what people eat. That's basic. The West is not a rice culture. Northern California, with the arrival of Japanese farmers, lots of rice is grown in Northern California, but still, by and large, across the US, it's corn and wheat, soybeans. So those are come from beans, from seeds. All right, positive potentiality. Yes, there you go. Something that goes from a seed, boom, into goodness. So wholesome qualities is a way we've been translating 善根 for quite a while. This current translation didn't do it that way. But that's what it means, goodness in your heart. 这个善根哈，是不是一个根？为什么说善根？善根跟功德、跟福报、跟福德、跟道德有什么关系呢？有什么不同呢？这个亚洲呢，大家吃米饭，很多南部北部也是吃麦子。不过呢，善根你如果种下，那稻田你种下米饭呢，有一根一根，你在那个稻田水里边，你就把一根种下去，然后慢慢的有米，有饭出来了，米，这个有道哈。西方多数呢是吃麦子 wheat， 还有玉树素玉米，那个是一个苗种子，你不是根下去。那个主粮是 wheat 麦子大麦或者玉米玉树素所以你说西方懂得根呢？不懂。不吃那么多米饭，慢慢多亚洲人到西方来，所以如果我们翻译 good roots， 可能不是很恰当的翻译，你就说 goodness， 你的功，你的自己里边的德，你的德行也可以 virtue， wholesome qualities， 善良的特素，你的德，你的善功德。 都对的哈。所以就说 goodness， 英文就叫 goodness 就对了。OK， aspects of goodness， 你里边的善功德就对了。所以 goodness 比较好，我主张我们翻译善根就 goodness， 不必善根 good roots， 听起来有点奇怪。Okay, so there you go. I'm really making trouble today, huh? Okay. So what kind of goodness? What kind of goodness? Goodness that comes from connections with the Buddha. Ah, that's goodness. Goodness that comes from connection with the Dharma states. Yeah, cultivation. Goodness that comes from connection with the Sangha. Oh, what would that be? You can think of it. What have you done in connection with the Sangha that's good? Yeah, I can think of a lot of stuff. Yesterday we had our children's group here at Gold Coast Dharma Realm. We had a children's workshop. And I was the monk for that part. The nuns had other parts where they appeared. And these 19 young men and women, children, got to see monks and sit with us and sing with us, meditate with us, bowed together. We shot arrows, we investigated archery, we played games in the bush, in the forest. Really fun while their parents watched. So that was goodness that comes from connection with the Sangha. And those kids got to dedicate merit, got to sing Dharma songs. So their connection with the Sangha, I hope, is positive. They can talk to monks. Monks can smile with them and watch them have fun and enjoy it. So that's positive connection with the Sangha. 就说你跟佛陀的境界都有功德，有善德，你跟佛法的关系就有功德，有善根，还有就说跟僧团的关系是善良，就有功德了，意思应该研究，可能有人就说了很多善根跟功德有不同吗？有没有？善根跟功德有没有不同？有，善根是一个总，功德福气是一个别。好的，昨天我们在这里，在济南法界这儿，这个楞严盛世，我们都有儿童，就说夏令怎么说？夏音，儿童音，有19个年轻的孩子，最年轻的要4岁，还有一个2岁的，爸爸抱着他，我还有一直到青少年，就昨天跟僧团一起打坐，一起礼佛，一起唱歌，一起就去玩，去射箭 archery 一起听讲笑一笑，很有趣，回向功德，到最后他们知道出家人是可以接近，不必怕了，也不必什么特别的这个样子。你出家人是跟他们坐在一起想想东西，解决问题什么的，那个是僧境界善根，应该说对了就是昨天在这儿。So spiritual teachers, things that because you draw near a spiritual teachers can be of all kinds. They don't necessarily wear precept robes or shave their heads. Sometimes spiritual teachers is examples of kindness that come from other beings. Just watching, for example, watching the birds and the possums last night outside. I heard a noise. It was already dark, and I went outside, and there was a mother possum with her baby on her back, and that baby was so happy to be riding mother's back with her claws in the mother's fur. And I took a tray of apple slices and I handed it over, and the mother, I also had some almonds, and the mother went for the almonds, but the baby, who has new teeth, went for the apple slice and just took it. And watching the mother provide the taxi for the baby to get around until the baby, pretty soon, the baby will be on her own. But now she needs the mother, and the mother was a baby 2 years ago. I saw her. I watched her grow up. She's a mother now. She knows exactly how to do it because her mother carried her. And these are the spiritual advisor part, is watching the relationships, watching the teaching that goes on, and the kindness and the protection that is built into the heart of a mother for her child is a lesson. And it just gives you that lesson in priorities. What really matters is survival of the generations through this, you could call it maternal love, the love of a mother for her child. And when I see that, I just think, how could anyone want to be cruel to other species when you see how much they are cared for and loved? How could we carelessly kill and eat other creatures just because we like the flavor, when you know that that is bringing pain and suffering to the network of connections that support those creatures? And it's a lesson in compassion that I have a song coming up a little later that I'll share that with. 就说这个善知识let's see 好怎么说呢？善知识境界善根这个就善知识有好几个，不是说配袈裟剃头发才算善知识，不是。那个善知识是教我们一个教诲，让我们懂明白一个道理的众生，就是善知识。甚至于善知识不一定是众生，可能是一个环境可能是大自然界来的一个教诲。好的，昨天晚上我出来了，听到声音就准备一些苹果，我把一个小刀子切苹果小块小块这样子，还有一些核桃放在一个盘子，就出去了。就到了那个天已经黑了就我开我厨房一个灯，看到有一个袋鼠，袋鼠是小袋鼠 possum 他后边他的儿子他的小袋鼠用他的爪子抓到母亲的毛，骑到母亲的背后，真的可爱看这个母子这个两个小袋鼠在那儿，就孩子在母亲的背后趴着那个母亲是保护他的孩子做孩子的车子，他的这个让孩子骑他的背后这样子。孩子太小，他不懂事，有其他的动物，尤其大蛇都会吃它，母亲会保护，母亲是这个小袋鼠的安全它的公安局公安。那么我把那个盘子那个苹果就拖出来，母亲问到那个核桃，他选择那个 almond 新人，他就吃，可是小孩子他的牙齿不够硬， 他就闻到那个苹果，拿2个吃那个苹果，看到这种表现，就知道母亲的爱是很强的一个善功的他呢保护他的儿子，他的孩子，这个孩子就在母亲的关怀里边了，就安全，就学到看母亲，效仿母亲，一切。现在那个母亲是2年前是孩子，我也认识她，我也看过她，她已经学到了如何做小袋鼠，做得很完整，现在知道怎么样做母亲的这种的智慧，就是我们众生里边的这种知识，从一代传下去到下一代，这种的正常的一个健康的一种美德，都是让我看了我就记得什么是重要让我知道我能吃东西，不让胖生受苦，是我应该做的看那个母亲怎么样爱到他的下一代，他的孩子，不会我自己因为要一个快口，要一个味道，会去杀他，因为每个众生都是有连带的关系，都有他的母亲爱上孩子，孩子依赖双亲养他，所以这个是我看到那个我都记得我应该吃不会害生的一个饮食很清楚。So 小袋鼠变成我的善知识。So the possum and the baby possum and the mother possum became my good and wise advisors indeed. Good roots from situations involving living beings. Good roots that arise involving skillful means. So lots and lots of these. Can think of so many situations where Master Hua created opportunities for his disciples to grow in the Dharma. So all kinds of skillful means. Yeah, so many stories. So I think I'll depend on what I prepared, so I'll just keep on moving. Wholesome thoughts, cultivating all kinds of wholesome thoughts, good roots that arise, wholesome goodness that comes from wholesome thoughts. Then we have internal, external, good root, wholesome qualities, goodness that comes from states involving emotions, for example, and then states that involve external. I have a friend in Taiwan who wanted to cross over her father, and her father was just not interested in bothering with others' welfare. Everybody kind of, his attitude was take care of yourself. That's pretty much what's important. So the good daughter went out and had she had got $150 or something from some refund that she got, and she thought, here's what I'll do. She went to a vegetarian kitchen. It was not just a restaurant, but a kind of a supplier of vegetarian food to go, and had them make up 100 biandang, 100 lunch boxes. And she negotiated the price and got it down to where every box cost, $2 or something. It's just big quantity vegetarian hot food in a container. And she got the kitchen, the makers of the food, to deliver it to a temple in Taipei where she knew that there were lots of homeless people across the way from the temple. And she invited both her parents to come with her to where this is a popular temple where people go to seek their fortune and to offer incense when they need help with family situations and all. So her parents were complaining, I don't know what you want. You want to go tell your fortune? We don't have to do that. Just come on. So she took them there, and this big panel truck shows up on the street, and the young woman says, "Okay, thank you so much. Would you mind putting a table here?" So she got a table, and then she called her parents over, and she put food in her parents' hands, and then walked over to the homeless people and said, "Anybody hungry? We have free vegetarian food for you. Lunch on my parents." And so people started coming over, and of course they had no plan. They had to say, okay, one per person. You can't take three. You can't tell us your friend is not here but once, and you have one per person. And if there's any extra, then you come back, but we recognize you. And her father and the people who were receiving the food were very grateful because it was delicious vegetarian free food. And the people were lining up, and this young woman's father was like, oh, all right, here, stop pushing. Okay, here you go. Here's one for you. And within about 10 minutes, she reports that she saw her change in her father's face. The goodness came out. He was happy and smiling and was receiving the gratitude and the thanks of all the people in line. And it meant a lot to him. And he said, and they passed out the food, and they had a few extra at the end. Everybody was fed. And the father paid extra to the driver, the cooks and the drivers of the panel truck, the kitchen, who set out the table. And it was entirely wholesome. And father said at the end, we should do this again, he said. And the young woman transferred the merit, dedicated the merit, said, let's do that. That's a really good idea. Thank you for coming, she said. So that's skillful, expedient means, cultivating wholesome thoughts. And her father, if she had told her father what she had in mind, the father would not have come. But because she just put the food in his hands and said, here, feed people, he got it right away and was willing to practice the joy of giving, and immediately realized how joyful it is to benefit others, to give food to people who are hungry, So skillful expedient means 就说想到这个应该说方便善巧境界善根，还有善心境界善根，内外无边境界善根。这个我记得在台湾，在台北有个朋友，他是信佛，他的爸爸可以说信佛，不过没有不修行，他就觉得哎呀，你自己想法是比较好啊。那个他比较懒惰啊，没有经验，所以他的女儿就想法子让父亲就知道布施 是，就说助人是快乐之本。为什么第一横，十横品的第一横叫欢喜横？因为属于布施。那个他那个女儿，她收到大约$150，她说哦好，这是一个方便，她就去一个做素菜的一个厨房，大量的简单的，她说我可不可以拿到100个便当，便宜每一个$2这样子，然后拿到加多一点钱，有100个。然后他说那个厨房可不可以送到是台北那个叫什么庙？是不是佛教的？大家去哪里就问备然后求钱，还有供香那样子，忘了是叫什么，在台北啊。然后他知道那个庙前边有很多无家可归的这个肚子饿的人流浪人对，新天宫没有错，新天宫是对的，新天宫。然后到那个前边，好了，他就叫他父母，他说你跟着我去吧，我们不妨因为父母没有其他的重要的事情那天，所以跟着女儿去了就你说去哪里？他说新天宫。那你有抽签吗？你为什么？他说不要紧，不要紧。到了来了一个 truck， 那个卡车来了他们准时到。他说你有没有可不可以摆个桌子，拿出来100个便当盒。这个，然后这个女孩，她就看到那边有一些人好像可能没吃饭呢，她就说过来有素菜供你，给你然后她把那个盒子放在她父亲的手，她说你要不要喂给他们？然后他们就好像乱来，那个一大堆，那个爸爸就说好了，排队，好，一个就一个人一盒，你不能一个人拿2盒3盒一个人一盒，他就排队，他们就准备了，给他们阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛，阿弥陀佛这样子。然后看到这些人拿到免费的一个中饭素菜的一个便当盒，他们感激，他们感恩。父亲听到他们说谢谢，感恩阿弥陀佛这样子，他的脸变了，他的善良就可以看得出他的善根就发了母亲也是那么到最后还有几盒剩下，可以给几个人或者带回去。这样子，父亲怎么说呢？他说：“不错，我们应该回来再做一次。看改天我们回来再做。”那么然后女儿就回向功德，说这个方便是对的。如果让父亲做了，他永远不做了，他不会做，不会自己做。你就用方便法请他来，他马上看到这是机会，他就供养，他就布施给这些人。他知道欢喜恒，助人是快乐之本，俗语这么说。佛法就说，布施波罗蜜是度众生的最初方便所以那个是我们这个依赖善巧方便境界善根，菩萨就回向。然后这个助道法境界善根 the countless aids to awakening. This is an interesting one here. What is a 助道法? Interesting, an aid to awakening. Of course, this is pretty broad, right? 不是龙山寺，是新天宫。新天宫。Anything that helps cultivation. It need not be bowing to the Buddha or sitting in meditation or reciting a mantra. Those are fa man, direct cultivation. But a zhu dao fa could be something like Tai Chi Chuan. I remember, for example, because Tai Chi Chuan moves the body, it circulates the qi, it teaches discipline, it gives you something hard to push against so you can develop your resistance, your strength, inner strength. When I was doing the pilgrimage to City of 10,000 Buddhas, my companion, Marty Heng Sure, taught me how to practice Guangping Yang Tai Chi Chuan. And it included also Chuang Gong, the universal post, standing meditation. And one morning, when Shifu would come down to Los Angeles, we would leave our bowing place, mark it carefully, then drive down to Los Angeles, retracing our route, and then bow outside, staying in our car at night outside the monastery, and then go in and listen to Shifu speak Dharma whenever he would lecture, and had a chance to get close to our teacher, of course, and get straightened out for the next part of the route. And we would practice Tai Chi in the morning. I remember I was practicing some martial arts moves, and Marty was doing standing meditation, and Shifu came out the back door of Gold Wheel Monastery, saw us practicing Tai Chi before the bowing, and he said, this is Zhu Dao Zhi Fa. The principles of standing meditation are just like meditation. They're just like Chan Ding. He said, if you can master the Chuang Gong universal post, standing meditation, you can also, it is directly related to entering samadhi with Chan. So he said, this is what you call Zhu Dao Fa, Zhu Dao Zhi Fa. So you can think about eating a vegetarian diet, eating a wholesome diet, and all of the kindness and compassion that arises around blessings during the day. Those are Zhu Dao Zhi Fa, that you need them for both blessings and wisdom. 这个都叫助道之法，助道方便善根。我就想起来，就是不一定是打坐，不一定是念佛，不一定是礼佛不过呢，就是帮助那个修行的法门。举个例子，就是打太极拳那个朝拜万佛城的时候，那个恒潮教我这个广平阳太极拳。这个我们每天会练太极，就是对于礼佛还有打坐什么的非常有帮助就会健身，然后帮你修自己的这个内在的功夫。好了，我们师父有的时候会下来到了金轮寺讲法讲经，那我们两个都会上车就会回去，在外边住，在那个金轮寺的外边住在车子里边晚上，然后白天就会礼佛在那个门外，等到师父讲法的时候，我们都会进去听法听经。好的，有一天早上Marty 就在那儿修这个床功standing meditation， 就我在那儿就练一些运动。师父出来了，就把他的两个手拿出来，这样子，他说：“嘿，这个助道法，他说一样能让你入定。你有这个功夫呢，他说你一样都会入定，有三昧所以呢，他说助道之法就是你们应该多修所以吃素也是助道之法 多做善功德就是助道之法。等于肥料，你上那个你种的菜、种的花，
据说挺好吃的，是吗？
都会更
但它比较远了你看那个就这潮是你看大石头槽上，别
不知道谁的 microphone 还没有关，请你们尽量的 mute 好吧？我们可以听到你讲话。好，本来想问问题，欢迎都可以 unmute So, okay, good. Let's see here now. What else? Renunciation, pure precepts, all forms of renunciation, cultivating vigor, great skillful means, countless samadhis, wisdom, different thoughts, merit, bodhisattva practices, and sheltering and cherishing everyone in the world. Those all create wonderful, wholesome goodness in our lives. So 无论我们怎么样积极善根就说修一切舍，或者持警戒或者能堪忍就因为苦恨那么或者就说心不退转，这种善根或者方便入无量三昧，这种善根善观察、智慧善观察、善根，有这种的学问这种的修行就说众生心恨差别这种善根无边功德善根修菩萨业行善根，或者赋予一切世间善根，这都算我们内在的善良的功德就栽培。然后呢到回向的时候就有银行有钱可用So once we cultivate all of those wholesome qualities, that wholesome goodness, then it's like money in the bank. We can really transfer merit because we have accumulated all those wholesome qualities, all that goodness. Okay, I want to, before we jump into Master Shenzhang's, we have a wonderful story today. I wanted to share something inspired by today's text, wholesome qualities. Here is a song that I wrote, and I will, I know sensitive to not people want to hear musical instruments in a sutra lecture. So I thought we'd just sing it without. My body's not a graveyard for the flesh of living beings, not complicit in the slaughter of the stockyard. May I spice my food with generosity. May my table be a blessing for the world. 我的身体不是坟墓场卖下众生的肉。我不会参与屠宰场这种动作。我愿意用布施做调味。我的饭桌应该做祝福全世界，就是幸福世界的人。The chorus goes, the beings with fins say thank you. The beings with feathers say thank you. The beings with fur say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. Let's heal the universe with every bite. 就水类、水咸、海鲜就说感恩，羽毛的众生就说感恩，有毛玉，what is it? Fur 感恩，谢谢给我的生命，每口饭都可以预量全宇宙。Till I extend my compassion to every being, I will not find peace of mind. Teaching a child not to step on the snail saves the snail and also saves the child. 等我的大慈悲心包括一切众生，我找不到安静的心上。你教一个孩子不要踩到这个蜗牛，救济蜗牛一样救济孩子。The beings that fly say thank you. The beings that swim say thank you. The beings that crawl say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. Let's heal the universe with every bite. 能起飞的众生说感恩，能游泳的众生说感恩，爬着在地上的众生说感恩，感恩我的生命。Let's heal the universe. 法界愈好，每一口饭都会愈好法界。If the world's factory farms had walls made of glass, the whole world would be vegetarian. Behind the slaughterhouse comes the battlefield. We order steak and go to war again. 如果屠宰场的墙壁是玻璃做的，全世界都会变素食。屠宰场后边有战场，你每一口肉是战争的种子。When I don't eat your brother, my life extends. When you don't kill my neighbor, we discover we are kin. War or peace? Check your dinner plate. Here, suffering grows. There, suffering ends. 兄弟不吃，我的生命延长，我的寿岁延长。不杀你的邻居，你就知道是亲戚。是战争还是和平，看你今天晚饭的都吃什么。吃肉苦更多，吃素减少苦痛。The footless beings say thank you. The four-footed beings say thank you. The many-footed beings say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. Let's heal the universe with every bite. 没有脚的众生动物说感恩，四条腿的众生说感恩，多条腿的众生说感恩。感恩我的生命，每一口饭都会鱼养法界。Don't ask, can they reason, but can they feel pain? In suffering, they and we are one. I call animals neighbors and friends. Every mother loves her son. 不要问他们会不会有思考，你要问他们会不会受苦。受苦，他们跟我们是一模一样的。畜生是我的邻居，是我的朋友。每一个母亲都会爱上她的儿子。From the bottom of my heart, I say thank you to every living being. I say thank you to those who came before. I say thank you. Thank you for the gift of life. Let's heal the universe with every bite. Let the whole universe rejoice. 从心根里边就说感恩，向每一个众生就说感恩，对过去祖先说感恩。Thank you for the gift of life. We'll heal the universe with every bite. 让整个法界清醒。Okay, there you go. That's a way to cultivate good roots, right? Just with every bite of food, we can create a condition of happiness or misery. 就说不要问这个育植是怎么育好，我怎么会种善根？不要问了，每一口饭，每一顿饭，都是造成一个快乐还是一个痛苦的世界，看我们愿意怎么做。Okay, there it goes. Now, you know what we have here? We have something quite wonderful. we have a story. Master Shenzong. Oh my, this is an amazing story. We are now into the second scroll of his biography. 我们已经到玄奘大师的下卷，第二卷。这个故事太动心哈。从此西行，至阿耆尼国，阿父师权，权在道南沙崖，崖高数丈，水自半而出。香泉晕，就有上率数百，在土水尽，至此坤法，不知所为。时众中有一僧，不果心资，以众起活。众议曰：是僧是佛，是故我草供养，随摄万里，无所积息。今我等傲然，竟不由念，一共100日。Okay, there we go. Proceeding westward, the master reached the teacher's fountain in the country of Agni, also known as Karashar, which is in New Yanqi out in Xinjiang, the country of Agni. The fountain was on a sandy rock by the south side of the road. This is Master Shenzong's describing what he saw with his eyes. Right? The rock was several tens of feet high. The water flowed out from the middle of the rock. So it's a strange rock formation, a fountain. Tradition had it that once a group of several hundred merchants finished their water on the way, and they were in trouble when they reached this spot. They were out of water. Traveling with them was a Buddhist monk who, having no money, had lived upon their offerings. The merchants talked together and said, this monk is a Buddhist disciple, and we have been supporting him, and he got as far as 10,000 li without paying a penny. Now we are suffering, and he shows no sign of pity. We're going to complain, they said. Okay, all right, so what did the monk say? 僧曰：汝等欲得水者，以各礼佛，受三归五戒。我为汝等登崖作水，众既为困，咸从其命，有什么其他的办法？受戒器，僧教曰：我上崖后，汝等当唤阿父师为我下水，任须多少言之。起去少时，众人如教而请，须于水下充足，大众无不欢贺。师敬不下来，众人上观，以其灭矣。入涅槃。大小悲号，依细玉去焚之，与坐处，具砖石为塔，塔今犹在，水亦不绝，行旅往来，水众多少，下有细粗，若无人事，尽业而已。Oh my goodness. The monk said to them, if you want to get water, you should all bow to the Buddha, take the 3 refuges, and observe the 5 precepts. I will climb up on the rock to get some water for you. They were stressed out. They had no options. They said, all right. When they had been given the precepts, he did the ceremony right there. The monk said to the merchants, I'm going to climb up on the rock, and all of you call out, teacher, send down water for us, and say however much you want. The monk reached the rock. The merchants did as he told them, and the water flowed down. They were saved. They filled up their water skins. They were greatly delighted. And then the monk didn't come down. he didn't come down. So they said, well, we'll go up and see him. But he was sitting in full lotus, entering nirvana, dead. All the people, old and young, lamented, who was this monk? They cremated him in the manner of the Western countries. Oh, thinking, why didn't we know to bow to him? We shouldn't have said those awful things. Afterwards, according to the legend, they piled up bricks and stones and built a stupa at the place where he was sitting. The stupa was still there when Master Xuanzang arrived. The water was still flowing. The fountain was sometimes big and sometimes small, in accordance with the number of travelers that passed by. When there was nobody, it dried up to a mere drip. Okay, what do you do with that, right? Ayo, 怎么一回事? Let's take a look here. What a great story. So, Master Xuanzang was a historian. He kept a journal, and wherever he went, he remembered the local legends and passed them on. So how long had this story been told? We didn't say, but it had been there as long as there were people. That was what made this place special. So what they saw was a tall rock with water coming down a fountain. And this is in Xinjiang, and I've been over there on the way to Dunhuang, and oh man, it is dry. It's dry there, desert. And yet here's the water flowing down. And where did it come from? Well, it came from a monk who was receiving offerings among 100 merchants on the Silk Road. And they started to complain, hey, you freeloader, you've just been taking our offerings and you haven't given us anything, you haven't given a penny. What about it? What were they going to do? Are you going to leave him? What do you suppose they had? What was plan B? You know, just kill him or something? And so he said, oh, no problem. You want some water? I'll get you some water. So first you have to, it's like in the sutra, if you want to eat my body, first you have to make the Bodhi resolve. So that you can take the refuges and precepts and you have all the water you want. So climbed up. They said, teacher, send the water. It's like, sure. And they came up, and there he was. He had gone to nirvana. Ayo. Lai Ming Chu Bai. Clear on where he came from and clear on where he's going. So, yeah. He was an arhat in their midst. And here was an opportunity. And this is completely in accord with the stories that from the Jataka tales and stories of bodhisattvas who, you know, gave their flesh to feed a hawk and donated their body to feed a hungry tiger, mother tiger with her cubs. Here, he said, oh, here's an opportunity to save the lives of these thirsty travelers, merchants. Sure, why not? I'll go for that. He gave them his life so they could eat, they could drink. Ayo. Amitofo. And then it went on to not just those travelers, but others. No matter how much you wanted, that's how much you got. Amazing. 我们都听过这个割肉喂鹰，舍身喂虎，这些行菩萨道的这些公案因以何身得度的即身何身而为说法，现身就舍身，能舍一切，本来就是罗汉或者辟支佛或者菩萨行菩萨道的圣人，就跟这些商人一起去丝绸路，到了这个非常非常非常干燥的地方。我去过新疆，看过这个沙漠，哎呀，什么绿色的东西都没有了，就 呀，干燥。然后这些商人哈，他们都说，哦，你看这个寄生虫什么都不做，一样吃饭，那你怎么呢？我们要跟你就说争论算账嘛。如果不是罗汉，他们怎么办呢？杀他？没有说。玄奘大师是做笔记的，记载这个他所看到的传统的说法。怎么打石头有流水？就说是个僧人，他说：“哦，你们 OK 好，你们需要水是不是？对 ，OK 好，你要多少？你先皈依受戒，可以了。他说这是机会，教化他们。他就上去说：你们要求法师，请你下来，请让水下来。他们就这样叫了。哦，水来了，高兴，有命，就说生命还给，因为水是生命，到这个情形。可是法师没有下来，他们上去，法师来明去白，入涅槃。哎呦，难舍能舍，这样子然后他们哎呦糟糕，我们怎么没有理他，没有顶礼啊，失去机会。对了，失去机会，有水他给你的生命所以你看以后还有什么旅行的人需要水一样了，就不是这个方便法，不是发心的菩萨很难很少有人能这样子为法忘取，舍己为人Okay, so are we going to dedicate merit? Or are we going to transfer merit? Doesn't matter, does it? You decide which word you want to use. Same idea. The important thing is that you do it. To whomever, to all living beings, to somebody special, to wartime situations, to the people of Afghanistan who are experiencing earthquakes and misery of poverty. You dedicate merit where you want it to go, certainly to all living beings. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may our minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward, may all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light dispel the darkness of our endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise. We will conclude with bows to the Buddha. You're welcome to join me. Please do. Here we go. Bow in respect to the Venerable Master. Alrighty, that'll do it for us for today. We'll see you all next week for more of the Avatamsaka Sutra and the story of Master Xuanzang. Thanks for joining. 那我们到此为止，下个礼拜再来继续研究玄奘大师的故事，还有十回向品的第7回向。阿弥陀佛 everybody. See you again. Bye bye now.